Welcome to the live weekly show here at Marketing Profit School, where we are diving into packaging your offer for profit today. This is something that so many people completely drive by the exit on the interstate because they're so focused on getting the right program and delivering the right training or the right transformation for the people that they're working with that they totally forget about packaging their offer so that it's profitable and becomes irresistible for the perfect clients and actually helps you repel the people that you don't want to be working with anyway, or that just aren't the right fit, right? We all have those clients to avoid. And we also have those people that try to fit that square peg in the round hole that we're building a business around. So if you're new here, hi, I'm Penny Kelly with Marketing Profit School, and I talk about marketing and sales for small businesses, for coaches, consultants, course creators, other client-based businesses where you are likely to have a conversation with someone or someone on your team does, or you have a system in place that draws the clients to you to create demand. So inbound marketing is something that's been around a long time. And demand marketing is kind of a newer phrase, and creating demand is like attraction marketing's big brother, right? Where we put all the right content out there, we say all the right things, we join those conversations in the head with our ideal prospects, and then we create that demand that they want for our product or service. And packaging is something that gets forgotten about. Now, we often think about this. Look, I come from sort of a consumer product goods background. I was in the wine and spirits industry. The package on a bottle of wine is very important in the US market, at least. In a lot of other markets, specifically French wine, in Italian wine, there's such an internal battle about the traditional versus the newer winemaking styles. And the newer styles of wine have more proprietary names and more flashy modern packaging to go along with their modern winemaking. Yet the more traditional have those classic DOC, DOCG names because that's required by law. Same in France, the Bordeaux's and the Burgundies and the Champagnes, a certain amount of their label and packaging is bound by the laws that govern the agricultural side of their wine business. So it's very different. Our AVA laws, American Viticultural Area laws in the US, have a lot more leeway with how we label things, what we call things. So the packaging and the words that you use on a label for something are very important. For us, in a client-based business, in a service or course or consulting program, the packaging is going to be all the little accessories that we add on to our primary offer. So that primary offer is your actual service or your actual coaching program. Hey, we're going to meet twice a month for 6 months. That's what a 6-month program looks like. You get one-on-one FaceTime with me once a month and a group call once a month. And here's what that package investment is for you to work with me. And then when we package it up, we're going to add on some bonus. And here's the purpose of the bonuses and that extra packaging. Maybe there's something we add into the program or the course itself because it's necessary to get the outcome. And then any bonuses or any extras are just to get those fence sitters on the other side of the fence. It's to help squash those objections. So when we think about squashing objections, we think about not only the objections they're coming up with in their head, but also when they solve this one problem, what's the next problem? And is that another offer to work with us in a deeper way or a more personal way or to get a done for you service on the back end? Or is it something you're going to add in as a bonus? Hey, what we see is that like 80% of the people that come through this program, they get about this much through, about halfway through the program, and they start thinking they need to solve this problem. So we actually have a referral partner we work with that can help you solve that problem. Or we're going to give you a bonus training for 90 minutes to help you learn how to solve that problem. So this is where your packaging not only helps you close more sales, but it helps you become more profitable because it allows you to increase the pricing on the core offer because of the extra problems you're solving the extra questions you're answering. Objections are really just questions that haven't been answered yet. So when you go through, record your sales conversations, make notes on any DMs or chats or do screenshots of them so you can see on the people that don't close, was it your choice? I mean, I have 25 plus years in sales. I would much rather get to a fast no and move on to the next thing on my list than try to convince someone that this is the right thing for them. 99 times out of 100, when you convince someone that is on the fence and you can't get them off the fence and you have to use persuasion and convincing and all these other things to get them to yes, they're probably not going to be a great fit in your program anyway. They're going to be the person who whines and complains about every little thing, who makes payments late, who doesn't give you what you need on time to complete a project for them, or whatever the case may be. And if anybody's watching this and you feel called out, then think about the ways that you approach relationships when you work with an expert or when you work with someone who is doing a task for you or managing a project for you. Do you come into it with the respect of their expertise and give them what they need to finish the project? And do you approach your potential clients and customers the same way, respecting the expertise they have in their field for what they do, and that they are the expert of their subject matter, and at the same time, commanding the respect for your expertise in your chosen field? So that, I look at any of these relationships as the thing that like really makes me giggle and usually walk away is when I've learned this the hard way so many times. Some of these lessons we just have to learn over and over again until we actually get it, right? Is when somebody wants to hire you for your expertise and then they don't want to take your advice, or they don't want to do the thing you're telling them to do or you're suggesting that they do in their business or in their life or whatever it is that they came to you for help with, right? People come to me for help with their ads and to get their funnels converting better. And then they want to not do it the way I'm telling them to do it, but to do it some other way, because at the same time they're coming and asking for my expertise, they're also watching 5 other YouTube channels and taking 3 other courses and chasing all these shiny objects. And the thing with focus, and I can't remember whose quote this is, but it's follow one course until success. It might be Robert Kiyosaki. And so if you're going to invest in a mentor, follow that person. You can keep 2 or 3 other people in your inbox or in your playlist for podcasts or YouTube or whatever, but don't try to chase 2 or 3 solutions to one problem, because you're just going to end up creating more problems. And you don't want to do that for your prospects and your clients either. You want to be really clear on the path forward. This is why programs that have a roadmap or a success path or something like that their students or clients can follow are very successful, because people like having not only the verbal, but also the visual of, think about, when we were in DC a weekend ago for my daughter's graduation from grad school, we walked the Capitol Mall from the Lincoln Monument to the Supreme Court. It was a very long day. And every few hundred yards, you have these maps of like all the area with all the monuments. We went into the Air and Space Museum for a couple hours, and they have a map of here's where the things are. So you kind of think of it of, hey, we're going to, like, when clients come in to work with me for a 90-day accelerator or for accountability coaching or whatever, the first thing we do is an audit of everything they have going on so we can map out what is so and where you are. And we were talking about roadmaps, right? And that is one element of your package where it's like you're looking at a map and, you are here. And it's like, this is where I am and this is where I want to go. So how do I map my way to get there? Same thing with your clients, with your customers that are coming in. Let them know, give them a diagnostic tool or give them a way to see where they are, and they know where they want to go and how they can close that gap, right? And so that can be a very beneficial thing. Now, the main thing as we kind of land the plane here, talking about packaging your offer and your service, and you're going to have your core program or course or service, whatever that is, that doesn't really change. You might have different, if you're a coach, you might have different packages, like a one-off or a 6-month or a 12-month or something like that. This isn't what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the package that you present to the public that is considered your offer, right? And one product or service can have a lot of different offers. And how we package that offer is what makes it profitable, because the pricing does have something to do with it. But it also is what makes it irresistible to the right people and actually helps you repel the wrong people. And when you can use that language in your conversation, like earlier in the first video when I talked about that square peg trying to fit into the round hole, if you're like, hey, we're not for square pegs, it's not for us, we're not for you, we're not going to help you solve your problem, then you're kind of letting them know that you're not going to be a great fit. And it's okay to do that. As a matter of fact, it is definitely true that the riches are in the niches, right? And it doesn't mean that you have to be in a narrowly defined niche. You want your smallest viable audience or your pocket of people, but it could be a horizontal specialty, or it can be the depth of a niche. And you can look at it either way. You can kind of find where those two things cross in a certain market where that works for you and you can really let your expertise shine. Then that is something that can have great payoff for you. You know, I love just hopping on coaching calls and brainstorming with clients because it's a superpower of mine. I can see their business differently than they can. I work with my coach, they can see my business differently than I can, right? That's the way these things work. So the things to consider in your package when you're putting together an offer and you're packaging that offer to put it into the marketplace, you want to think about things that are going to inspire them to action, get them off the fence. For the people who are very analytical or the people who are very intuitive, whatever it is, however they buy, however they make decisions, you want some language in there for all those buying types. You want your different emails or your different ads to really speak to the different buying personas that you have and the way that they make buying decisions. And you also want to overcome objections. So you want to squash those objections before they pop up in their head. An objection is just an unanswered question. So you're answering those questions in advance for them so that it doesn't come up later as a what if, or I'm not sure about this, or what have you. And some of those objections you're going to squash are actually going to help them disqualify themselves. So that could be a good thing too. And you're going to facilitate successful results. So things like roadmaps and success paths help people get to the end of the journey. You want people to finish your course and get great results so that they give you a testimonial. You want your coaching clients and your consulting clients and your service clients to be very happy with the end product. You want them to have the success that they seek so that they can't wait to come back for another round or to tell their friends about you. I always think of it like the carnival ride. Like you want to get off the ride and go get in line to do it again, right? You're at Disneyland, like that is what you want to do. And so that is what you're looking at. Now, it's also going to be that aesthetics of the packaging. Like when I talked about, the wine label and things like that, you have people who like the beauty of it and people who like the pragmatism of it. So think about those things in your packaging. Who are your customers? How do they think? How do they process information? Is it more important to them that it's pretty or that it's useful? For most of us, they care more about the usefulness. And we think the pretty is more important than it is when we're just starting out, when that can actually wait until you have a little bit of traction in your business to get going on that. It's much more important that you have the messaging dialed in and you're talking figures and, move towards 7. That's the bottom line. And the way that you can do that in your packaging, squash objectives, inspire action to get them off the fence, facilitate their success, stack the odds in their favor for successful outcomes. This allows you to raise your prices because you're increasing demand, and you're also increasing your authority, credibility, and expertise in the marketplace. These are like creating a little flywheel in your business where it gets better results every time it goes around. It goes around a little bit easier every time it goes around, right? So that's how you want to think of this. Packaging your offer, that the package alone draws in the right people, repels the wrong people, helps you become more profitable while helping your clients get more success. That is it. Elevate your position in the marketplace while making more money and having more happy clients. Now, if you want to learn about working with me and what we do in our Ascend coaching program, over at Marketing Profit School, then just comment somewhere around where you're seeing this video, or you can come over to the website and see how to get in touch with me over there. And that is Marketing Profit